Rises the past.
We understood very clearly. What is Azure? What is DevOps? We understood very clearly in the last session. Today, how to create Azure account, how to create Azure virtual machine, how to use Azure virtual machine. Let us understand. Let us understand, guys, please. But anyway, so what we have discussed in the last session, let us revise within 5 minutes. Let us revise within 5 minutes. Then we'll move forward into the
Analyze the data.
class. Okay. So what exactly we have discussed in the last session, please? So what is an application?
Identify the
working software which is written any programming language we call as an application. That application we're gonna be placed on server side. So once if it is placed on server side, then we can access our internet as a website. Repeat again. The working software which is written any programming language we call as an application. That application we're going to be placed on server side. Once if it is placed on server side, we can access our internet as a website. But what about SDLC? SDLC is a software development website. In SDLC, we have several stages like analysis, design, implementation, testing, deploy, and maintenance. By following these are all the stages, and we can able to produce an application, we can able to do business and enterprise.
Identify the patterns. Recommendations for the future.
But this SDLC is a complex pipeline. This SDLC is a complex pipeline. We are going to be replacing with what? A transparent pipeline. Why we are calling SDLC is a complex? Because of it is a manual process from analysis to design, design to implementation, implementation testing, testing to deploy, deploy to maintenance. It is a manual process. Due to this manual process
for the future, right?
So in the middle of the process, if you got an issue, any problem,
for the
for
future.
identification,
Data
it will
analyst
take
on
a
the other
long
side,
time.
right, is going to summarize
For
the
resolving
past.
issue also, it
He
will
is also
take
going
long
to
time.
analyze
If
the
it is
data.
take long time, definitely the cost will be increased, the quality will be decreased. So that reason we are going to be replacing with what? Our DevOps transparent pipeline. Everything transparent, everything is an automatic. Everything is transparent, everything is an automatic. While implementing this DevOps transparent pipeline, even if we got an issue, easily we can able to identify, easily we can able to rectify as soon as possible. If it is rectified as soon as possible, and if we can able to deliver, that means the cost is reduced, the quality will be increased. So that reason we are going to be replacing with what? Our software development lifecycle SDLC into the DevOps process. But actual DevOps process is look like this one. In this DevOps transparent pipeline, we have a plan, coding, integration, testing, release, deploy, operations. Our roles and responsibilities start from dev environment, ends with what operation. That means we are part of coding, integration, testing, release, deploy, and operations. But to be frankly, we are not doing any planning, we are not writing any coding, we are not writing any test cases.
And finally,
Just we are
visualizing
going
the
to be
data.
in implementing an automated DevOps transparent pipeline from dev environment to operations. But for implementing this DevOps transparent pipeline, we are using tool stack. Which are all the tools we're going to be learning? Git, we are going to be learning. Maven, we are going to be learning. Jenkins, we are going to be learning. JFrog, SonarQube, Ansible, Microsoft Azure, Docker, Kubernetes, Vagrant, Negios, Elk Elastic, Logstash, Sibana, Terraform. So these are all the tools we are gonna be using for implementing our DevOps transparent pipeline. DevOps transparent pipeline. But while implementing our DevOps transparent pipeline, we required a infrastructure. Tell me, what is infrastructure? Tell me, what is an application as we discuss? Reply in the chat box. What is an application? The working software which is written any programming language we call
Summarize
as
the
an
data of
application.
past. So either this data scientist or data analyst, data engineer does the groundwork, does all the groundwork.
So for maintaining this application, for deploying this application, what kind of infrastructure we require? What kind of infrastructure we require?
Data engineer does all the groundwork
Servers,
for data scientist and analyst.
network, database, storage, and so these are all major infrastructure is required for deploying our application for maintaining our websites. But how many ways we can able to get it?
Data engineer does all the groundwork for this data scientist and analyst.
How many ways
We talk
to
like
get
more
it?
than 80%.
We can able to get either physical environment, from physical environment, or from virtual environment, or from cloud. But what is the cloud computing? What is an exactly cloud computing, please? If you can access, if you can access the remote place resources, our internet from a laptop is nothing but what? Cloud computing. What is exactly the cloud computing? The remote placed resources. So from these data centers, if we can access resources such as servers, network, database, storage, if we can access our
Data
internet
analysis work
from a laptop is nothing but what?
is done
Cloud
by
computing.
data engineer.
Is nothing but what? Cloud computing. But any cloud is a rental based infrastructure. Any cloud is a rent infrastructure. So just for deploying our application, what kind of infrastructure we required, we can able to get it from cloud. By using cloud, we can able to get a service, and top of we can able to place our application based on usage. We are going to be parent. So we are not buying service. We're going to be getting a rental based infrastructure. What is an example? Car. So just for reaching a railway station, instead of buying a new car, just book a rental car like Ola or Ubera. Within 10 minutes, the car is available at the doorstep. Getting into the car, reaching your railway station, and whatever tariff you need to pay, that's it. The same way, just for deploying our applications, what kind of service, what kind of infrastructure we require, we can able to get it. But would you cloud
Data
guys, please?
engineering
We are
involves
going to be
data
learning
engineering
Microsoft Azure.
involves
Microsoft Azure. So Microsoft Azure is a 5 times cheaper than AWS. And if you have a if we have an
what are the
existing
sources of
license,
the data?
we can able to reuse. And which are all the what exactly, please? Microsoft Azure is a second largest cloud provider in the market. By using Azure, we are going to be learning these are all the models: networking model, compute model, storage model, database model, identity access model. We are going to be learning. Under each and every model, we're going to be discussing different types of services: virtual machines, scaling,
Secondly,
auto
what is the
scaling,
format of the data?
different type of storage, databases, Azure user management. These are all things we are going to be learning. And detailed content I'm going to be providing the backend. We can able to do that. Networking, computing, storage, database. We're going to be learning. This is the core architecture. So if you want to use Azure, we should understand how we are getting into the Azure, how we are going to be creating a server. Anyway, we are going to be an experience for today's session. So Azure architecture totally we have a 3 layers. It is a front end layer, it is a middle layer, it is a back end layer. Front end layer is nothing but what? How many ways we can able to getting into the cloud, either by portal, PowerShell, CLI, REST client. By using any one channel, we can able to getting into the cloud by providing your authorization. By providing a authorization, please. So once if it is an authorization,
What
we
is the
can able to
format of
get
the
database,
data?
application,
How to
server,
transform data?
network, whatever the resources we can able to create. So graphically, PowerShell, CLI, authorization. Then finally, we can able to create our resources. So let us experience for today. So let us experience for today. So we are going to be getting into the cloud and we're going to be creating a virtual machine for today. And how exactly we are going to be using the virtual machine also we're going to be experience by today's session. Yeah, first, what are the first step, guys, please? If you want to do that, first, we need to create a Azure account. We need to create a Azure account. And we need to create a virtual machine then. Okay, how to use the virtual machine? Let us experience for today. Yeah, so first,
How
how
to
to create
transform data?
Azure account? I already provided document list. So please do open a document list. Please be open a document list.
What is the destination?
In the end, we have a course content, which are already shared in the chat box. Please be go through this once. Just to be click on the link in the chat box. If you copy paste in any browser, you can able to see our document list.
What is the destination of the data? That is target.
In this document list, we have a DevOps content. Azure content. Please open Azure account creation. First document, second document, and third document. So please be
What are
open.
the sources of the data? What is the format of the data? How
Please
to
be
transform
open.
data? And what is the destination of the data?
Please be open. Document and try to follow this document. So what are the first step? So please type in Google Azure account creation. Once if it is typed, and please be click on first link. Once if it is click on first link, and let it be click on start it free. And if it is scroll down, please create one. Please be create one account. And if it is scroll down, please be provide your email address. Working email address. You will receive an email. You will receive an email verification code. Please be verify your email address. Then capture. Please be provide a capture. And once if it is done, then please fill your name, last name, your phone number, verify your phone number, and provide your credit card details. So the first 1 month is free. You don't need to pay anything, and around 15,000 rupees is free. With that 15,000 rupees free, we can easily practice without paying anything. So just for card is for just for verification. Okay. Once if it is sign up, automatically you will be landing into this page. Once if it is sign up and sign in, you will be landing into this page. Once if it is landing under this page, we can able to create a virtual machine, the resource group, whatever may be. But you should understand two
Okay.
things here.
Now,
So Azure is
why Azure
offering
data
different
engineer
types of
is in
services,
demand?
but we are going to be creating a resources. Services offering by Azure. With that help of service, we can create our resources like virtual machine, storage, network, database, whatever may. If we click on service, again repeat, three hyphens,
Why Azure data engineer is required? Why Azure
three
data
hyphens,
engineer? Previously, we
click on all
doesn't have any of
services.
this, right? Like data engineer, this kind of roles. We used to say like ETL developer.
B1 is that it is not showing. So in my case, it is showing standard B1S, 1 CPU, 1 GB memory.
Yeah, you can go for the standard B1 also. It's good. It's go for it. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Singh. So if anything else, don't worry. I will get you by tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow
Sure, sure.
we start our regular sessions.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Azure data engineer. Yeah. So yeah, morning all.
Products
So
or
myself, I'm Vijay.
services.
Like I hold 20 plus years
Azure
of
data engineering
experience,
products or
having experience in
services.
different technologies. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not?
Yes, screen is visible, voice is clear.
Fine. Okay. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering these things. Why Azure data engineer? Role of Azure data engineer. What are the various roles of it? And what are the Azure data engineering products or services? One by one, right? Overview on that. And job market of Azure data engineer, right? Yes. Cloud. Cloud is majorly utilized. Cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering the data in various form. Cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering data in various form. So data engineer, with the help of all these cloud services, they work on the data and make it structured and useful. They work on this data and make it
Yes,
structured
one by one.
and useful.
Azure
Right.
SQL.
Cloud compared with on-premises, right? The case of on-premises databases, We need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. On top of that, we need to say OS installation, purchasing of database license, installation of database server, designing of database objects. To maintain all this, again, we need to maintain separated teams like hardware team, operating system team, networking team, security team, data administrator team, right? So data administrator is required. So here, everything in the cloud. No need to maintain all this. No need to maintain any Azure data lake infrastructure. No need to maintain any infrastructure. Okay. So data engineer, with the help of all this cloud, they work on the data, make it structured and useful. So data engineers, right? Yes, just one second. Data engineers. For smooth data flow. So data engineers are responsible for smooth data flow. From source to destination. From source to destination, yes. Generally, data engineer involves data engineer, right? Data engineer involves like preparing the data, involves like preparing data, cleansing data or data, cleansing data, we say, transforming
ADE,
data, processing data, preparing data, cleansing data, transforming data, and processing data. So most of the times, right, people will be asking difference between this data engineer, data scientist, and data analyst. If you talk about data scientist, data scientist, and data analyst. Mainly, for the future, is going to strategize for the future. Means is going to okay, for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past. Data identify the recommendations for the strategizes for the future, right? And analyze the data, identify the patterns, recommendations for the future. Data analyst on the side, right, is going to summarize the past. He is also going to analyze the data. And finally, visualize analysis. Summarize the data of past. So either this data scientist or data analyst, data engineer does the groundwork, does all the groundwork. Data engineer does all the groundwork for data scientist and analyst. Data engineer does all the groundwork for this data scientist and analyst. We talk like more than 80%. Data analysis work is done by data engineer. Streaming data engineering involves Azure Cosmos DB. What are the sources of the data? Second, what's the format of the data? Azure Key Vault. What is the format of the data? How to transform data? How to transform data? What is the destination? What is the destination of the data? That is target. What are the sources of the data? What is the format of the data? How to transform data? And what is the destination of the data? Okay. Now, why Azure Data Engineer is in demand? Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse, Azure Streaming, Azure Cosmos DB.
We doesn't have
Azure
any of
Key
this,
Vault.
right? Like data engineering.
We used to say like ETL developer. If you see from the last 10 years, we have got data engineering, Azure data, what's data engineering in data today. Talk about data, just this example. Talk about any organization. It was to increase revenue. This organization also is the business revenue. Azure SQL. By utilizing
Similarly, I
the
can say it is a
customer
cloud
behavioral
RDBMS.
data.
It is a cloud
The
RDBMS
organization uses
database
operation.
management system.
So it is going to hire 2 people. It is going to hire people. Azure data this Azure data engineer is going to create a data warehouse.
Cloud RDB
Is going to create a
database.
data warehouse for organization. A data warehouse. What is a data warehouse? Is a storage of structured and queryable data. It contains data from various sources such as new user clicks, existing customers data. Data engineers they structures data and stores it and mine data in data. Secondly, data engineers communicate scientists. They are data scientists to understand the requirement, communicate with business team, the business requirement organization. In data engineers to keep in mind business needs when dealing with the data hand. Later, data scientists is to analyze data and creating the process data. Data engineers keep on constantly processing, analyzing, and monitoring the data.
It is for OLTP. It is OLTP
through which the data is integrated with all the crucial
transactional processing.
Without any data leaks. This is data engineer, right? Yes. Now see the other roles. Role of a Azure data engineer. Role of Azure data engineer. First thing. OLTP captures end user transactions. Data flow. OLTP right, captures end user transactions. Data flow architecture. Secondly, creating data warehouse. It is not for data warehouse, it's for OLTP. Second, this will go over of data details about all these components. Azure Data Lake. Creating data warehouse for storage of analytical data. Yes. The main task of this Azure data engineer performing ETL. ETL is the main task of Azure data engineer. It's tasks. They to extract data from models, transform it into structured and queryable data, and load the data into complete storage service for the further business evaluation by a data. And also like data monitoring, right? Data monitoring to make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way and the data is available anywhere it is required, right? And also data security. It is also one of the major responsibilities of the data engineer. The data needs to be secure at each step of the process. Any data leaks are exposed and the this collaboration and communication means distributed file system, unlimited data storage. To check if the teams requires any data unlimited data storage. And also collaborating the data science and necessary to develop the data as per their requirement. Analytics. They have strong analytical knowledge for performing analysis. The automate certain things are process, right, which require human intervention, right? Yes, these are the major responsibilities standing in the data flow architecture, creating data warehouse, ETL, one of the tasks for ETL data from different sources, transferring it into this data monitoring, right? Yes. To check whether it is performed perfectly. In cloud, data security is a major responsibility of data distributed file system with unlimited data storage in data lake. You need to have strong analytical knowledge and also like other things. Yes. Responsibilities of the roles of this Azure data engineer. Azure data engineer products or services. Azure data engineer, right? Products or service. Azure data engineering products or service. Yes, one by one. Azure SQL. Azure Data Lake. Azure Data Factory. I can see it as a repository of large varieties of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. It is a kind of file system, I said, that distributed one with unlimited data storage. It can store like structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data, like Azure Data Factory. Azure Data, Azure Analytics. Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Key Vault. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse, Data Azure Factory, Streaming, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Key Vault. Azure SQL. Simply, I can say it is a cloud RDBMS. It is a cloud RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. It's a cloud RDBMS database of Microsoft in Azure. It is for OLTP operations. It is for OLTP operations. Online transaction processing. OLTP captures end user transactions. OLTP, right? It is end user transactions. Right? It is not for data warehouse, it's for OLTP operations. Next second. This style overview of we discuss in brief about all these. Distributed file system. This is a cloud-based ETL with data storage, with unlimited data storage. Cloud. Distributed file data storage in cloud. That is data. And it is a positive of varieties structured, unstructured, and semi. Is a kind of system that to distributed one with unlimited storage can store like structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data, like Azure data. The cloud ETL or cloud-based ETL of Microsoft.